Top Gun Maverick. Well, here we have Tom Cruise returning to one of his popular characters, Pete Mitchell, aka Maverick, who is a test pilot now. There's no surprise that he is soon summoned and tasked with a mission to be a teacher for a group of Top Gun graduates. One of the graduates is Lieutenant Bradley Bradshaw, aka Rooster, the son of Goose from the first film Top Gun. Maverick is still tormented from his death, and it carries over into this film. His relationship with Rooster is very much like a caring uncle and angry nephew filled with a lot of friction. In many ways, Maverick is trying to redeem himself for his choices and the death of his friend Goose. Here, Maverick must train the graduate to do what appears to be nearly an impossible mission. The mission itself requires them to fly at very low altitudes in a very tight terrain so that they are not detected by their enemy's targeting system. And trust me, this is not an easy thing to learn for these young cadets. The movie does a good job at setting the stakes for the final mission, especially during the training sequences, at showing us how incredibly difficult and dangerous this mission really is. About the time you get to the third act, where they have to undergo the actual mission with no errors at all, you're already tense because you feel that none of them are actually fit to get the job done. I mean, one mistake and you're dead. Kabooey. I have to give credit to Tom Cruise for his commitment and consistency to his roles in the movie industry. The man is soon to be pushing 60 years old, and here he is still giving us everything he's got to give, still insistent on doing his very own stunts. So hats off to you, sir. The whole cast here is solid, with each of them playing well to their respective part, the overall story. But I have to say, I would have liked to spend a little bit more time with them to flesh out the characters. Rooster and Hangman Little Quarrel reminded me a lot of Maverick and Iceman rivalry in the original film. Cruise and Jennifer Connelly have a nice, sweet chemistry between one another. I gotta say, I was surprised by the level of comedy this movie had that's fairly sprinkled throughout the film and helped to make things enjoyable whenever you might be feeling stiff during your watch experience. I like that the movie doesn't overdo it with its nostalgia level, but just enough that sits just right. I mean, the music's gonna hit home for a lot of you who are fans of the original, but there are also some new tracks as well that are welcoming. However, I really like some of the score for this film, especially during the third act. Now let's talk about that third act. Man, oh man, the third act is what really makes this movie for me. I love the anticipation it created for me, which reminded me of the anticipation I got from watching the film Still Dark 30 a while back in theaters. What I enjoyed about the third act the most is that it never lets up. It kept giving us something without ever tiring me out. Any traditional movie would have stopped and ended at one point, but this movie keeps the action going and going in very entertaining ways. All the flying scenes in this movie were shot in actual US Navy FA-18s, and it was a great treat to see in IMAX, especially the cockpit scenes and watching the actors perform their aero acrobatics and seeing their reactions from feeling the G-force. And using Red Reaper's 4-star rating system here, I would give this movie 3 out of 4 stars. If you haven't seen this movie yet, then I would highly recommend seeing it in IMAX, as I don't think you will get the same experience with a regular theater screen. And trust me, you want to feel the vibration from the jet engine as I did, as it makes it feel somewhat immersive. I want to add that I seen this film in a packed theater, and what an experience it was to see with all those wonderful respected people. They made it a lot of fun, and it made it also a fun experience for my friends and I. And you could tell that everyone was there to have a good time and to watch a good movie. Also, shout out to Tom. Say what you want and think what you want about the guy, but he has truly built himself up to be a true Hollywood action star. I'm just saying.